What I want to do is to thank Derek for his time and also to congratulate him because the reason for him needing to step back from Tuesdays is because he himself has been broadcasting on Twitch now for a while. He has, pardon me, he has set down roots to not just play like Vampire the Masquerade, which is his bread and butter, but also to teach it in a workshop. And of course, he has drawing on the macabre. And after getting that going and setting that up, there has been continued incredible growth to the point where not only is he stuck with the storyteller in World of Darkness term, the storyteller curse, the forever storyteller, but we see for all of you in the audience here, we see both Coffee Cat and Lethality Complex. Each of them have stepped up and have started to run Vampire the Masquerade as well, which is very much a notch in their belts to be proud of. Kind of stepping outside the traditional D&D or oh, hi Cat. Stepping outside D&D and maybe some other properties and getting into this system, but also what this did for Derek was mean that he could actually, dare I say, play a game of Vampire the play as a player, actually play a vampire in Vampire the Masquerade. And so with all that going on, with him wanting to still maintain his art stream, his workshop, his Detroit by Night overhaul game, and then of course wanting to have an awesome presence for San Antonio by night and Brisbane by night. He had mulled over the decision and thought that it was time to step down from the Tuesday game. And I want to be the first to not just address it because it's a bad thing. I think this is good for him. I want to congratulate him for his growth and for also having that rare moment of actually getting to play the game that you yourself are used to teaching or running for others. And so I would like
from behind the storyteller screen.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, Celtic lady. Thank you.
Hey there.
Hey there. Well, thank you very much, Celtic. And yes, cat butts in chat. Obviously, it's now an official stream as we've had a cat butt. And sorry if I missed anything else in chat there. Oh, all right, Andy's back. What did you miss the first time? I won't complain if you want to sit in my lap, but okay. You just want to rub on the desk. Got it. No, it's a surface. It's a corner. So yes, I do want to congratulate, and Cold Spark, if you could do a favor for me, and with exclamation SO for shout out, can you give a shout out to Macabre Derek? And so what we're going to be doing is, in a sense, have a slightly incorporated workshop into our Tuesday session where, what do you do if something like this happens? As a DM or as players, what do we do for continuity? What do we do, to make sure that there's a smooth, as reasonably possible, as immersive as possible way forward. And then as for, oh yeah, Manazine, yes, he might be rumbling because he's really close to the mic. But going forward, right now we have 4, still a solid party. Will we be looking for a 5th? Perhaps. I will dangle that out there, but I don't have a recruitment up yet. Because I want to make sure that what we have going forward after we reestablish this base, after we talk and, just get to a comfortable point, also after I take my leave of absence from broadcasting for the summer break, then I'll see where we're at and where we're going, and if it's appropriate to, to recruit, then we'll recruit. If we want to continue forward, we'll continue forward. But right now, hey, it's Tuesday. I got a crew of 4, and we'll get going in that direction. Now, before we do begin, because there has been so much growth in the community, Cold Spark, I'd like you to give a couple other shout outs too. I would like to start with Coffee Cat. Coffee Cat Presents. Because Coffee has been running San Antonio by night and as well has Caffeine Fix. So if you're looking for the arts, then there are art streams, and then there are the times where you load up your Switch, and those are coffee breaks.
I've been calling it, depending on the day, night cat fight.
Oh, God. Okay, it's like Tuesday night, or not Tuesday night.
Yeah, like Friday night
Yeah.
cat fight, Saturday
Gotcha.
night cat fight, because that's my usual stream days. But yeah, I've been doing more gaming lately than art, which because I'm in an art funk, and I am sad about it. But
Well,
I have content.
if hey, to still be able to come by and produce content, maybe, I mean, staying engaged, you'll find something that will reignite you, and that's the best way to get through it, right? To work through, to think through, to find that, at least for me, is just stay
I've been
engaged.
hyper focusing on my own game.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing. Just creating things for that and taking notes and all sorts of things for my own game on Wednesdays. So,
Which by the way, I hope that care package helped you out in that regard. Coffee.
I love it. I love it so much that notebook is already getting used.
Good.
And then the storyteller. I hate that the little booklet that came with the storyteller screen is real flimsy. The paper is real bad. So I'm trying not to abuse it.
Can you laminate it or something, maybe? Or
I'm just leaving it inside the storyteller screen. So I take the storyteller screen everywhere I go. Because I love that D100 table.
I figured it would be something that would really, because you can have it off to the side when you're presenting. But I thought that'd be something that could really, add a boost to.
Cold Spark brings up an idea that a scan.
Oh yeah.
So I might actually start scanning it lately in the near future, just so that I can have it digital and put it away.
Then, if I can give a shout out next to Lethality Complex, or more specifically, the Gathering of Nerds. Cold Spark, if you can give a shout out to the Gathering of Nerds. Not only...
There's no "the" on it, though.
Or, I'm sorry, well, yes, to Gathering of Nerds. The Cold Spark was 2 steps ahead of me on that. Did not include that. But yes, so you have been broadcasting Brisbane by night, and you also do have other like Minecraft or other content
Minecraft,
as well.
Tabletop Sim. We were once everything to do with the current world state is over, or it's relaxed enough that we can all get back together. We'll be moving back into our D&D, and hopefully that happens. Hopefully that happens very quickly, but it might not. But that is the thing that we will try to do. Get there quickly.
Content back up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we also have some other things coming in the works.
Things, all the things.
All of the things.
And just for the crew, you guys can have a little present. Something I whipped up for the episode that we had yesterday, which I think you'll get a giggle out of. You'll know, you've seen it, Coffee, so you'll know.
Oh.
It is in the our secret chat.
Oh. The secret chat, you say. I see what Darkwolf posted.
Where did you put
Oh,
that?
that posted in the wrong place.
Ha ha!
That was my bad. I'll hear it.
Uh-oh.
Let's try this again, shall we?
Oh, okay. All right. I mean, I guess I could see how that would fit in the one that you originally put it, because then we'll all just think about how we can have that happen, uh, and you'll get 10 different ways. Oh
And really,
yes,
she did get punched in the face a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, she did.
And Clayton and Wendigo are about to get punched in the face too. So
But at
Yep.
least as a vampire, you know, it's sort of like that one character from Men in Black who could just get blasted and comes back and goes, "Do you have any idea how much that stings?" You know, meanwhile he's just like regenerated his entire head.
Yeah, but
that's basically Clayton. Basically Clayton.
Hashtag basically Clayton. Yeah, that you bought your third dot of fortitude, right?
Yes, I think
Yeah,
I'm actually
yeah.
going to change it from Unswayable Mind to Define Bane.
Defy
before
Bane.
next session.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
because it makes more sense.
lastly but not leastly, is we're showing love and support here for those in our community who broadcast. We have KH Darkwolf, who has begun her broadcasting by playing some some little like JRPGs. Like what would you classify them as?
Yeah, so far some JRPGs, but it's basically anything I have on Steam or with the Itch.io
There
bundle.
we go. Ah, yes, Itch.io.
I think the bundle ended, but like I got over like the bundle, like when I last looked at it, it was like over $9,000 worth of stuff, and I only I put $10 down, but like
yeah, it's
It's
about
so many
about
games.
1,700 things. It's not all games though. There's like game development stuff.
there's a lot of
there's
assets. It's actually nice.
Yeah, there's like $1,000 worth of high quality fantasy pixel assets.
Some of them are even like role play game assets. Like there's map makers. I saw something that was a one-page RPG game. I saw some other like tabletop game stuff in there. So
I mean, you could play and fall into a pit a million times in Celeste. That's a thing you could do.
it's on the list.
And for anyone else then out there who broadcasts, not just as a player here, but there are many of you, I appreciate you sharing when you go live. That way we all can, share in what each other do. We can provide references to each other back and forth. We can help each other grow. And for times like this where, we have this milestone where while we have said, not a goodbye to Derek, it's actually more of a congratulations to Derek for getting to this point where, it was a tough decision for him, but it was one that needed to be made because, he is seeing, the seeds he planted so long ago now starting to bear fruit. And it's a wonderful process. And for all of you out there, as you are a viewer, as you're a content creator, I thank you because I've also gotten to meet you, to be, influenced by you, to have your life touch my life, and, to also grow as a person and even get to the point here to bring it right back around to where I need a month of not broadcasting because I've reached this point where we've been growing. There's been so much going on. If I don't stop and retool, then it's not going to work out very well going forward. And so this is, I think this is a great time to look at our past, our milestones, to see how far we've each come. And, we're all still faced with various conflicts personally, broadly, whether it's in your city or state or wherever you live. It could be a natural disaster, like having a tree almost fall on your house. It could be, cultural strife. It could be just, it's you just have one of those days. You stub your toe for the second time that day. It's just a bunch of little stuff. And it still is like, wow, really, universe?
Dominoes.
Yeah. And it's...
It can domino real bad.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, Mana Designs, thank you very much for that. But that's why, hey, you know what? We're all together, and for the 5 of us that are here, I want to have fun with you all. And so what I will be doing here is I will be taking us. I'll do a quick little. Oh yeah, I got to make sure I'm. There we go. I keep forgetting to push the thumbs down to make the little point. but I'm getting better. This is my jutsu, so.
Hato no jutsu.
All right, so yeah, we'll get back. We'll get into things here. Of course, there was, for the benefit of those who haven't been aware of what we've been doing, this was an interesting kind of a side mission that was branching off of, making preparations for a big decision, and of course, the prep work was important. This had Bright and Mordecai end up going to, the docks district at night because, the normal stores were closed, but they wanted to get the things that they needed to get. And as things were happening, the airship parade from earlier seemingly was manifesting and showing off some big tanker ship. And then there was a horrible attack, or a celebrated attack. I don't know, it depends on if you view the Shadowhar as friends or occupiers, as wartime enemies, as people that need to be routed, or those who need to be welcomed and celebrated. However, I'll tell you, there's at least one person over here that had very strong feelings about the Shadowhar, though there's probably more than one, as magic spells began to rain out of the sky, zapping and blasting the ships, causing them to fire back towards the aggressors, and there was a lot of collateral damage. Then we had buildings on fire, and this led then to a whole interesting other encounter, which had a lot of, like, a sneaking mission. It had some stern negotiation by Mordecai, who pretty much by negotiating floated amongst the Shadowhar as this powerful vampire and said kneel, and they knelt. And and then a parade of owls. Bright was also infiltrating another ship, caused a big kerblooey, I believe is the proper gnomish word for that. And then it culminated to a big old fight aboard an actually drawn out map, which was kind of a three-way fight, in so much that we still had sailors that were coming up from the tanker ship. We had this character, speaking of old characters, we had Raphael, who, for any of you who might have only started recently watching our weekly game here, Raphael was also an original character who met an early end, and through a very powerful fickle god's favor, something has happened, and this is the second time we've met him after he's died. And so a fight ensued that had the party versus Raphael, and Raphael was raising the sailors that he killed in order to assist him. There were these nefarious sailors and these other attack ships. It was, I'll tell you, this was a heck of a fight. I really enjoyed running it. There was a lot of things going on. And there's a lot of things that could have been done. When I say it could have been done differently, I don't mean that the fight was bad or I felt not satisfied with it. There was certainly a lot that could have happened if things had gone other ways or you made other decisions. And I hope that I hope that it was an awesome and fun fight for you all as well. And by the way, thank you for. There we go. Raz, thank you very much. 9 months! Raz, we had a Twitch baby. Aw. Thank you, Raz. Yeah, and Raz, you get the new sub badge too. You get to cool off a little bit with that pitcher of iced tea before you ascend to the ranks of the spiciest salsa at 12 months. So yeah, we had this fight. There was a lot going on here. Miss Merkuri ended up kind of like streaking out over the battlefield, landing, was able to offer some support, and eventually, after Raphael said, you can't fire me, I quit, dispelled this reverse gravity that the professor had summoned aboard the ship, which that type of magic was drawing some attention from the necromancers below decks as well. There was a consistent between them all. They always kind of made that kind of squinty. What? Really? It's the old magics, and so yeah, there was you and Raphael had a bit of a falling out, and Miss Mercury said, "Okay, we got to get out of here, especially because Mordecai had some bones on the outside, and he may be a vampire, but come on, the bones got to stay inside."
For all intents and purposes, I think I'm unconscious.
I believe so. And she said, "All right, gather together. I can use the fiery tower as kind of like a beacon, like as an energy source, and I can take us out of here." The spell went off, and there was sort of this fiery circle that opened up and sucked you all through. And you were in this spinning tunnel of fire. The fire was a lot of different colors, including black fire, which of course that is almost a trademark of that burning tower. Although you don't see much of it because the wall has been continuing to be built around it for this plan to most likely harness it somehow. And then you all had reappeared. Boop. You all had reappeared in the square outside the burning tower, and this is pretty much where we had left off. Now, this is my... this is going to be the end of my narrative as DM, and both my slip into... Alright, now I'm in-game DM as well as out-of-game DM. There is one other detail that I am going to add to this moment. You all manifest. You realize that you're in the kind of rebuilt square that has this giant cylindrical wall around Mr. Halver's place, which is this tower that is just burning with this, this otherworldly fire, including black fire. And you assess the situation in the immediacy. There were going to be some clerics of Ouijas running over because obviously there's injuries. Someone just manifested, and things are pretty dire here. In this moment, what I will do is if you have anything to either do quickly, whether it's like a look around to say something, cast a spell or whatever, get some words in, or a couple, kind of basic actions, as we have the clerics of Ouijas, or, there's also some, or Ouijas, there's also some other, like, patrol people that are coming over, like, whoa, what just happened? Because remember, this is kind of a weird place, and especially with one of you being a tiefling, they're on extra watch for tieflings who just seem to be attracted to this place, like moths to a flame. So before anyone reaches you or gets to interact with you closely, it's all of you. The inspector, Miss Mercury, is there as well, and so you this fiery kind of portal hole is still there that just dumped you out. And is there anything you would like to say or do with each other in this moment before I just then you as a DM?
I am feeling very hurt. I might just attempt to cure wounds on myself for a bit.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that at a 3rd level, actually. Ow. Ow, 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 ow.
Mordecai spends some blood.
Ugh. Well, yep. I am currently at 19 hit points.
All right.
Do I at least look like I'm not gonna that I shouldn't be dead?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're really beat up. I don't know. I don't know how much that can change. But you're. I don't know. We can almost say this curative because hit points are kind of a fungible. They can be kind of what you want: mental exhaustion, emotional, physical damage. Though falling from that height, there was a strong implication that there's going to be like actual broken bones and things that a cure spell itself may not necessarily be able to do. But I guess what we could say, especially because you're this vampire, it's you've kind of given yourself a like a painkiller dose, so you can move, and topically at least, you might need to be held. You're probably limping from the one leg that really was messed up, but you kind of the cure kind of reduced some of the hemorrhaging, the bruises, and so you have kind of you painted a nice coat on top of a really battered and bruised body. But there is going to be some longer term stuff. And remember too, I did bring up the fact that you're legitimately going to have to feed to, heal, replenish, and fight this urge inside of you. But for right now, you have a nice pretty slap patch right on there. You have a smiley bandage on your compound fracture.
Yeah, that's really all I'm going to do
Okay.
in the immediacy.
Cypher, Casimir, Bright, anything? Okay.
I am exhausted.
I could go for one more round.
Literally reversing the fundamental forces of reality is not an easy thing to do. Luckily, I didn't go flying into the sky, so I'm pretty battered and bruised, but I don't have any broken bones like anyone else.
Yeah, probably don't do that.
Yeah, it hurts. It sucks.
This is mostly your fault.
I can't really move.
And then, do we have a Bright with us? Even if we're audio only?
Maybe?
Oh, there you go. I hear you now.
My internet isn't working very well.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
I mean, mine...
Well, if it... I can hear you. If for some reason it's easier to type, either in our Roll20 chat or in other chat, then you can do that as well.
Why has the internet got to be so derpy?
Yeah. Well, hey, there was I guess this will date our video for anyone who watches this in the future. Hi, welcome from the past. There was that big old, I guess it was a cyber attack on our mobile phone infrastructure. Like there was a lot of outages and stuff the other day.
Where?
Yeah, I think it was primarily through Sprint. But there's people who live in town I couldn't call because they're on that network, and I just kept getting an error message. So yeah, there was a big like mobile phone
Hoo-ha.
or something. Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. Well, now that we've dated ourselves,
See, all of T-Mobile was out yesterday. I didn't notice because nobody calls me.
Yeah, same.
I know what we must do then. Oh, Amanda, yeah, and T-Mobile was out for you all too. Yep. So it was a weird day, but you know what? Hey, I will date this and say that at least for the next 17 minutes for me and my time zone, we are halfway through 2020. It is the middle of June. June is the middle of the year, so we're halfway there. I think we're gonna get through it.
Yeah. It's gonna be a couple more weeks before we're actually halfway there.
Well,
All right.
I was gonna say beginning of July is more where.
But, hey, good news, I rebooted my modem.
Ooh. Does it seem to work?
I don't know. We'll find out.
You seem less choppy, so there's that.
Okay, good.
what if anything would Bright like to do in this immediacy?
Oh, I feel like I did everything last week that I needed to, because I was grumpy that we had to fight with Raphael. I thought he could have been an ally, or at least, maybe we make a deal where he kills Mordecai last, and then we just don't let him do it when he decides to, But it wasn't. It isn't how it happened, and I can't bring it back. So here we are.
All right, here we are, and there we go. As in this period as well, we'll have our kind of battered Eldritch Knight here, investigator Jaiden Stillwaters. It's kind of checking on everyone. And Miss Mercury, says that she's going to turn around and she needs to close this portal. Kind of making an offhanded, kind of an odd comment. And so she begins working on that. Jaiden is there, and your thoughts, your conversation, Mordecai, your self-healing spell will go off. Professor Cypher, you kind of, bending physics is certainly a thing. And there is a hand that is larger but similar to the creature that ended up phasing through the wall, that ends up reaching out through this fiery portal. And there's a gasp from Miss Mercury as a hand comes out and clenches her. And, like, you can see her boots and her tail is kind of, like, hanging out of this, like, for scale. Like, a tiefling is fitting in her hand like you're holding a little, like, a Barbie doll or an action figure or whatever. But you don't see a face or anything. It's just this, like, fiery, flesh-colored hand comes out and reaches her. You hear, like, a gasp and an oof, and she starts getting drawn in. In this moment... Investigator Stillwaters is going to turn and Miss Mercury, and is going to, like, spring forward to try and free her, as that's something that Jaiden would absolutely do, unless you think I'm mistaken, but would react to try and, like, shield her, to try and, like, bash away one of the fingers to open up something, and in so much, they're going to get dragged through this portal, this fiery portal, and the portal is going to close. And as it closes, as the investigator who cannot be surprised acts in this, just on this, like, surprise round moment, I'm going to roll a die. Or effectively flip a coin, but... Oh, alright then. This kind of hellish portal closes. Like, Miss Mercury is grabbed, and it looks like it's going to close right when she's being pulled through. The extra surprise of Investigator Stillwaters, who's still wearing this armor, mind you, like the armor that she had delivered, like, jumps on and is trying to get this huge hand to let go. They're pulled through, and the portal closes, and what happens is where the portal no longer is, and all you get is the last little bit of, like, a shimmering heat wave from where the portal existed. There is the metal scorpion tip to Jaiden's armor, as well as the bright yellow, or the bright orange tip, along with the silky black hair of... actually, it was a split tail of Miss Mercury, and so those two tail, like, the ends of the tails are, and Miss Mercury's kind of gives, like, a little twitch, and then it settles down. But the armor tail, while it was animated under the investigator's control, does not have that semblance of life to it, and. So it would seem Miss Mercury and Jaiden, who went to try and save her at the last moment, were pulled into this something that accompanied this spell, this teleportation, something that she did to get you off of that ship. And it is here then we will have... You'll have a little extra time since this happened. The clerics of Weejass and the patrolmen kind of pause for a second to, like, what just happened? And you're there at ground zero. The heat wave is just dissipating, and I'm going to put this back on you all.
I'm trying to investigate to see if there's any way that we can open this portal back up. We've got to go back for. We have to find them. We have to go after them.
Okay, you want to start
what Mordecai is
investigating?
doing. Yeah,
Okay.
That's what Mordecai is doing. He's hurt, but he's still gonna try and go.
Mordecai, do you want to pick up either of the remnants left behind?
This I'm looking at the wall right now. I'm not paying attention to
Okay.
what's on the ground at the moment. I'm trying to see if there's a way to get through this wall.
Okay. Casimir or Professor, what are you doing in this moment?
I'm going to pick up the scorpion.
Okay. Casimir, it reminds you some of the giant scorpions back in the Aslandian desert. Although these ones have, well, it's certainly, there's a kind of an acrid smell of poison that is similar. This is certainly not biological, as it does feel. It has the heft of actual metal, not just a repurpose like Casimir's brand of armor. Where you're using the natural plates. This does seem like something solid metal, but is able to also inject poison like a natural scorpion sting. Are you picking up the split tiefling tail as well?
Unless the professor is interested in that.
I'll pick it up. Yeah.
Okay.
Might come in handy, I guess.
All right. So you pick up the split tiefling tail. It doesn't have quite the bulbous extra fingers, but you do have like a good, maybe about a 6-7 inch segment of her tail, like right below where it splits. And then it just kind of, it gives one last little and stops moving. We due to internet being internet, we if there are things, Fluffy Sheep, if you are watching, if there are things Bright wishes to do, or if you're here, I don't know if you were able to rejoin, but.
I haven't been able to get a word in edgewise.
We can hear you, but that was very quiet.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, I'm having to use my phone, so I will adjust that when I can.
Okay.
Okay.
My regular internet is dead, and if it comes back, that'll be great. But right now I have to
Oh
use
no.
my phone, so sorry for the sound.
Big oof.
No, it's not your fault.
Adjust my settings when I...
Yeah, don't worry about it. It happens. Yeah. If in the meantime, if there's anything that you need to go back and do, then we'll accommodate. So holding, it's appropriate for Bright because she can see alternate realities. So she's still holding this moment in her vision to contemplate and to do something. As we're waiting for the planets to align. However, we are going to have Clerics of Ouijas now kind of run up and check on you all. They are, they're going to tend to injuries first. So if any of you are injured, then they would like to start administering. And Mordecai, you in particular, they're going to come up to you and ask, you look like you've been through something. Is there anything we can do to help?
No. Just... And he's not even paying attention to them right now. He's trying to see if he can find a way to go after Merkuri and Jaiden. He doesn't want to lose another person.
Mordecai.
What?
Mordecai.
What?
Go and get the items that you bought. They will most likely be at the pickup point. Then we need to get back to the hotel, and we need to rest. We cannot, in good conscience, go after them in a state that we're currently in. There's no point walking into the breach if we're just going to die.
We can't leave them.
We don't have a choice. We are not in a condition to fight whatever is in there right now. I can understand that you wish to go rescue them, but we need to think. We walk in there and we are dead. I am exhausted. Casimir, I am sure, is also quite exhausted. To say
Yeah,
nothing
better
of
than I'm
Jaiden.
actually pretty good.
Oh. Thank you for illustrating my point. But that's to say nothing of you. I mean, he's just like, look at you. Really?
I'm fine.
Are you?
I'm
'Cause we both know the answer to
fine.
that.
I'll go get
You
whatever. I'll go get. Shit, just. And he starts to storm off. Limping, maybe. Starts to storm off.
He just frowns and would look to probably Casimir.
Mm.
But like, considering that you're in an alright condition, go after him, would you? I am not in a condition to follow him right now.
Yeah. Tell one of those clerics I'll be back. I need to get my arm fixed after.
Yeah.
So Casimir will go after Mordecai once again.
Whew. Wow, that was one heck of a vision. I saw there were butterflies and flowers, and Jaiden and Miss Mercury were having a hug, and oh, I guess that's not what actually happened. What actually happened? Where's Mordecai? Where's
Professor?
Jaiden?
Would you like to answer that?
Well, the investigator and Miss Mercury were pulled through the portal that Miss Mercury had created to get us here by something.
What sort of something?
I don't know, flesh-colored, flaming hand. Mordecai, of course, trying to be his heroic self, and then me having to remind him that he's not really in the condition to gallivant off into some flaming hole in reality to go and save them. He's storming off limping. If he's limping now, what does he think is going to happen in there?
What? I'm not sure. But we've been trying to open these flaming holes for a while. Is it still there? Out of character. I mean, can I see it? Is it still there?
It collapsed. Yeah. Mordecai was like trying to do something, but yeah, it is not there.
Okay.
I do have something that could help. And he holds up the split, currently removed segment of tail of Miss Mercury.
Oh. Oh, okay. I have some bones that'll go really nicely with that. But do we have? Can we use that
Possibly.
to open it again
Possibly.
when we need to?
At this point, we need to get on with the plan that we originally had, which means we're going to need to go and grab the items that you were going to buy. We need to get back to the hotel and we need to rest.
Well,
Because currently I don't think any of us are in a condition to go gallivanting about in there. Wouldn't you say?
well, my character sheet disappeared when my internet went down. But probably. I mean, I certainly have felt better, but I mean, time doesn't wait. Time doesn't wait.
No, it doesn't. But at this point, if we are going on a rescue mission, we ourselves cannot be weakened, because that reduces the chances of success and doesn't make the mission, well, quite inevitably not worth it. Value cost calculation. And then at this time, in our current condition, there is too much cost, but not enough value.
I wish you weren't right. But I don't. I mean, I can't really do anything.
Trust me, Brian. I don't wish I was right either.
Why did we have to pick that fight? We wouldn't have needed Miss Mercury. We could have gotten home on our own. Mordecai and I mean, my mission, it was a success. Mordecai was going to bring me home. That's all we had to do. We didn't need to have this fight.
Well, I can't necessarily say that I picked it, so I don't know what to tell you. As far as I saw the investigator do, she wanted to arrest this person? I don't know. It seems like one of you. It seems like Mordecai knew of him, but I didn't
Yeah.
ever get a name.
That was Raphael.
Raphael.
Yeah, we knew him. He traveled with us for a couple of days, then he died. I guess he didn't stay dead. We've seen him around before.
You
I
have
don't know.
you and your little troop have a propensity for death just floating around you, don't you?
Well, I mean, kinda. But not me, it's really the others.
Yes, quite.
As you two are talking, you're engaged in conversation here. Casimir's gone off to help track down Mordecai. Not that I mean he's, I don't know, magically.
I'm getting very far.
If you have spells, any spells left, I don't know. I know you've burned through a lot, but yeah, you're probably not getting too far. Professor and Bright, while these clerics of Ouijas are around to study what happened, and they asked Cursory if you need any medical attention. You two, Bright and more Bright, Professor, you've heard the voice before though. You hear a soft voice say, "Lieutenant, questioning them will not be needed. These are my employees." "Oh, yes, they are your employees. I'll leave them to you. Thank you." And he just kind of turns and leaves. And the two of you turn and see the face attached to the voice. And that is the proprietress of the Wild Cherry, who is here. And she has a couple big boys with her that look like they are able to handle themselves should a scrap occur. Though, fortunately, it seems like the constabulatory that were on their way to ask you all what was happening have been rebuffed by her.
I'd be able to tell that this is Miss Quam, right?
Yes.
Then I'm going to turn to her, and I'm actually gonna move over so that she and I can speak quietly, so that the general area can't hear. Bright would be able to though, but just so that the other people walking around don't get any ideas.
Professor, unless you're particularly attached to this location, perhaps I can provide more comfortable accommodation for conversation. Back at the Wild Cherry?
I think that might be the best. Things have... What is the figurative term? Gone south.
Yes. Perhaps ironically or not, that is a term that we have very much started to use amongst ourselves from Shadowheart.
Yes, I wonder why. Now...
Real quick, she's gonna turn her gaze down to Bright. You, ma'am, are also welcome to walk with us to the Wild Cherry.
Okay, remember I'm still a blue
Yep.
ragamuffin.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that would be nice. I think I probably just barely made it out of there alive.
Then, Professor and guest, please follow me. I'll make sure that my men here can clear the way.
I was standing next to a barrel of blueberries that got hit by one of the stray cannon shots, and Well, now you can see.
Yeah.
Terrible. Terrible.
Uh, as they're walking, um, Cypher is going to turn and quietly murmur to Bright, "Do you have a way of contacting Mordecai?"
Yeah, I can talk to Mordecai once.
Then, yeah, just tell him to meet us back at the Cherry once he is finished with the procurement.
Okay. I'm gonna wait until we get there, and then I'll go ahead and cast Ascending. It's my last spell.
Okay.
And I'll say, Mordecai, we're all at the Wild Cherry. Miss Crumb is here. She's talking to us. I don't think she means us any harm. So if you can make it back, you should do that. Okay, bye.
I'll be back soon. And that's all you get.
Okay. He says he'll be back soon. I hope he's okay.
Yeah, I hope so too.
And somewhere along the way, I would have
Yeah.
recalled Peggy Sue. She
Okay.
can go to her place. Right after we teleported, I would have done that.
Okay.
We
No
just
problem.
didn't have time because.
So you walk uncontested to the Wild Cherry. You make your way into the renovated lobby. You know, there's still some work being done, but it looks a whole lot nicer than it did. It's I mean, this is, you know, nighttime, so there's not a lot of people who are up and about, especially with everything that was happening at the docks. Like, a lot of people might have just ran home, or laying low, or otherwise, you know, hanging out in a hotel lobby might not be the smartest thing to do right now. There's on the street, just, and of course for Casimir and Mordecai, you can pick this up too. You know, there's all kinds of rumors about what happened, how the Empire's going to respond. Like this, everyone is talking. No two stories seem to be the same. Any of them might be plausible. Some of them are certainly much more fantastic than others. But for those who are, you know, those who are out and about, or they're on a patio but a long ways away, kind of just like watching the illuminated smoke from the fires, they're kind of having a you know, a late dinner, or a late constitutional walk around the block, and contemplating between each other what this could mean. But in the hotel lobby, for those who are guests, Professor and Blueberry Girl here, there are some. It's not very heavily crowded in here. There are some, though, that are still murmuring, and even the people who are up here for a late meal seem to be indulging in the rumor mill. You go past the front desk. Obviously, everyone here knows Miss Crumb, and you are asked that if you'll accompany her, she will take you to a place where you can clean yourselves up. I promise privacy.
I would hope so. Going to need it.
Okay. You two are then taken up through the kind of the staff entrance that you had walked before, in order to go past the. You do go past some normal rooms, and then you are on the floor that, of course, has in that kind of weird, that seemingly useless frosted glass with the painted name of Investigator Stillwaters on it. You do walk into the office, and you are told that if you need anything in particular, there's a private bathroom on this floor. You can use it to clean up or do what you have to do. And when you're ready to sit down and explain what happened, she's going to be very interested to hear, especially as she didn't see the investigator on the scene, which she expected, but she wasn't going to make a scene at the scene about it. So Brighton Professor, that's going to leave you in the office, or at least sort of like in a, I mean, it'd be, how do I describe it? It's a shared bathroom with another office, but no one is presumably using that office, so it's effectively a private bathroom just for the investigator. But you have this, you have the investigator's office and private bath, which does have warm water on tap available, should you wish to use those facilities, or just to, if you do request something like some clothing, you can simply speak into one of the tubes. And Professor, the tubes in the hotel, you've seen those tubes. Those were the tubes that were used on the ships as well. Now, it's no surprise Miss Crumb is from the Shadowheart Empire to the northeast. It's just, there's commonalities now that you've been into the bowels of this ship. Maybe looking at the layout of the Wild Cherry, there's just some mechanical and aesthetic similarities between the hotel and the ship. But you two are going to be left to talk to your devices. And if there's something that either of you want to say now, you can. Otherwise, I'm going to cut over to Casimir and Mordecai.
I guess I'll dispel my blue.
Okay.
So so I had a seeming up, which was the regular ragamuffin, and then I used disguise self to do the blue. So my disguise is going to run out anyway pretty soon, because that only lasts for an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and wash up, and I'll press to digitate my clothes clean, because they got dipped in salt water, and then I'll maybe I'll wash my face. I got some nicks and cuts from, I don't remember, something blew up on me. It was all kind of a blur. So maybe I'll just at least feel just a little better. But yeah, that's all. And I don't know if we can even talk safely here. There's, with the tubes and everything, they could easily be listening. I don't know what I want to say. But I don't know. I mean, Jaiden was the one who knew Miss Crumb the most. And I don't really know her all that well. And I don't know if we can trust her or what. It's hard for me to know that. Casimir, did you ever get to know her? Is Casimir even here? Yeah, Casimir's here.
No, it's just
No.
Cypher.
Just Cypher? Okay. Well, I know Cypher never got to know her. So
Though if you're seeing Casimir in the room, maybe something did hit your head kind of hard. And maybe...
So wait, where did Casimir go? Why didn't he come with us?
But no, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to prestidigitate my clothes, patch up some cuts and stuff.
Okay.
No, really, where did Casimir go? Why isn't he here?
He's
I don't
following
follow
Mordecai.
Oh, he went with Mordecai.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fine then.
Yeah, I can imagine Bright saying that, like, in character, just asking himself, well, where is Casimir? And he'd be like, I sent him after Mordecai, because Mordecai cannot afford to be alone right now.
Yeah, that's probably wise.
All right. Well, then, I mean, y'all are going to clean up. If there's anything that you want to talk about or do, you are in the investigator's office, though, I mean, if you respect Jaiden's business/privacy, that's up to you. But you have been left alone, presumably, in that office. And Miss Merkuri, or not Miss Merkuri, Miss Crumb is but a voice tube away. Unless maybe you're taking too long, she might just come by and knock. But
Well, I might take a look at her books, not like looking through them, but just to see what she's got. If she has anything interesting, anything history of the Shadowheart, anything we might want to learn.
Yep. Well, so when we cut back, we can go over.
Yeah, sure. That
things
doesn't
along
have
those
to be
lines.
now.
Okay. All right. So we are at the nighttime streets as has been beautifully rendered. The nighttime sky, I believe, Dark Wolf, you did that a while ago.
Yeah.
But as we can see, the sky is clearly dark, and this is simply just a dark light that is illuminating everything here in the streets. Not that that matters to Mordecai or Casimir, because they have dark vision. And so, yeah, you are... the streets are not as populated, but you are in the streets here of Mask of Horns. You're limping someplace in a furtive state, or at least you're agitated, Mordecai. So what are you doing before Casimir catches up to you, unless Casimir is just more or less gonna stalk you?
I am not moving very fast, so he can probably catch up with me pretty quickly.
My legs are unharmed.
But he kind of just looks like a. He's kind of like using the buildings to kind of stabilize himself a little bit as he's walking through the streets. Definitely agitated. Definitely doesn't want to be here right now. He wants to go after Merkuri and Jaiden because that's what he would do. And he's not even sure what it is that he was going after, but he's trying to look for the person that they were talking to in the street before. It's already kind of late, and all of the events of the day and the night have probably forced this person into hiding again. And he's hoping that his bloody self isn't attracting too much attention, but he's also feeling very hungry.
Well, as you are walking along, I need you to make a dex save at disadvantage.
Oh, but alright.
12. Okay. So you're in this state, you're kind of like against the building here, and maybe every so often, like you might be leaving like a little bit of a bloody streak as you're kind of hobbling along, and you're thinking of Miss Mercury, you're thinking of the investigator, just your emotions are, you're kind of on this like magical adrenaline that's keeping you together, that's suppressing the pain, and walking around the corner is a couple here. And you bump into one. Whoa, hey buddy, watch where you're going. Oh, you drunk? Look at you. And you kind of fall back on your butt, and you see that there's two tieflings here, friends, a couple, who knows. Both of them do seem to be dressed for a night on the town, and did you just get blood on me?
Look, I'm busy.
They're busy getting drunk. Don't you know what's happening at the harbor? Show some common decency.
Yeah, buzz off.
Well, and both of them look at each other and they, well, never. Go home and sleep it off. And you get a rude tail gesture from the two tieflings as they walk off.
And I get back up and I keep going.
Casimir, as this is happening, are you still maintaining a social distance, or
No, I'd probably.
are you hopping rooftops and watching this, or?
No. I probably would go up and just. What I would do is, like, while they're like yelling at Mordecai, walk behind them and just stare at them.
Okay. All right, yeah, sir. So you go and you stare at the couple, and both of them look at you, and the other one says, "Well, you got a problem with us too?"
Yeah.
What's your problem with us?
You're messing with my friend.
I think your friend's plenty messed up.
So?
Why don't you bring him home?
I am trying to, but you're in the way and I'll move.
Both of them again, they'll look at each other. We're going home anyway. And they offer you a rude tail gesture as well, but I don't know if it is really like a... I don't know, Casimir, maybe they're just sort of like... it's something to you. Maybe you know it's supposed to be rude, but it doesn't have that like deep cultural, like, really, guys? And so both those guys just walk off because I guess they're on their way home.
I'm going to help Mordecai up.
Following me again.
Well, this time I was specifically asked.
Well, I am not gonna say no, because what in the world could I do? But, you know, I'm agitated right now. Could use a snack. So if we find something like that, that would be great.
No.
Casimir, you gonna go hunting for Mordecai?
Good.
You could.
What is the best prey but man?
I'd offer, but I'm not doing the best myself.
Not doing the best yourself.
I mean, I could heal up.
Yeah, well, at least you're not walking around on a broken leg.
I don't think I'll be holding my shield up for a bit, though.
Yeah, that was kind of pulverized.
Well, let's get what we came here for. Maybe find something to eat, because I'm kind of starving. And then we go to sleep. Sounds good.
Sounds like
How does... Oh, I don't know where to find anything that I can snack on right now.
There's plenty of people around. Unless you're taking that off your menu.
At this point, I don't think I am.
I'm gonna heal myself. real quick.
In that case, it would be a matter of, are you looking for someone who might very well have legitimately stumbled out of a bar or restaurant, maybe is on their way home or kind of went to the back alley to relieve themselves? Are you looking for, do you want to go into a place with some, red lanterns outside in order to warm yourself? Do you want to just go into a random apartment building and...
I think Mordecai will play to his strengths.
Okay.
And well, he's kind of a bloody mess, but would do his best to persuade somebody to go into a back alley with him.
Okay. How's Casimir gonna play into this? Or are you telling Casimir to scram?
Casimir can play lookout.
Okay. So, all right, Casimir, you know what's going to be happening, and you're cool with this.
Might have to think about this for a moment.
You'll have to think quickly because Mordecai is Mordecai's kind of throwing off some more animalistic vibes that you're picking up, and while he can still speak the common tongue decently enough, there's definitely there's kind of this primal edge that's really creeping into his vibe.
Mordecai,
Mm-hmm.
you can have some of my blood if you need. I can heal my.
whole hang-up with feeding off of people of any kind has always been that this is going to spread.
You've already bitten me.
Have I?
Yes. In Crazy Carnival tent.
I didn't remember that.
I'm slightly offended. But okay.
If you're okay with that, because right now I could go for a lot. And this isn't, when I say snack, I'm being facetious.
Let me just, do a bit more. I mean, I'll be fine.
Fine, let's just get this over with.
Alrighty.
So I do it out of sight of anyone else,
Okay.
and sink my teeth into Casimir's wrist.
All right.
You can't have the wrist, it's covered with armor. You have to go for the neck.
Oh no! Only chink in armor right here. Nothing can be done. Literally
he goes-
impossible.
He goes for Casimir's wrist.
Savage. Okay. So, Casimir, you are getting. Mordecai's being a little forceful here, is kind of jerking aside a portion of your armor, maybe even like bending it, or you kind of hear like some creaky crackles, since it's like a reinforced like leather from the bullet or from the sand dogs. But such is his his primal need, and his bestial strength that he kind of like wrenches aside your armor, and sinks his teeth in.
I can fix it.
All right, so what we're going to do is let's roll. We are very thirsty right now. So before the first con check here, all right, Casimir, you're going to be down 25 hit points, and Mordecai, you recover 25. We're starting to take some of the physical, like the not hit point directly damage, but you can feel your body starting to knit together. It's a very, I mean, you felt something like this before, and of course, there may be some changes going on with your body too. But I do need you to make a con save. Now, normally this is something that you would have advantage on, which is per that special skill. In your desperate state, I'm going to negate that and just have it be a straight up roll instead of at disadvantage.
Big oof. All right. Fingers crossed. No hunger frenzy.
Oh shoot! What did I?
I don't know what the DC is.
Yeah, I think that's a 13. Although that's I think it's going to have to be a little bit higher than that. 13 I think is going to be too low for this state. Unfortunately, I don't have my notes up for this regard. So I'm going to make a call on the spot here that this is just you haven't like savagely like failed where you're going to like tear out, you're going to tear off like Casimir's hand and just like drink right from the stump or anything. But you don't loosen your fangs and you go for another big draw. And so Casimir, like you feel Mordecai, like his grip. In fact, Casimir, you have a decent strength, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
16.
Yeah. So Mordecai, Casimir's blood is warm, and it reminds you of how the sun used to feel on your skin before you turned. because you're getting this like this hot, this desert elf blood flowing through you. So you have this warmth, and you're feeling this surge of strength as Casimir's blood is emboldening, like not emboldening you, like making you rash in that regard, like strengthening you. You're getting swole off of Casimir here.
It's almost like his jaw doesn't unhinge. Once he's bitten down, he's down. He's got it.
Oh yeah, you're all in with those fangs. Another 21 points, Casimir. Are you still conscious?
Yep.
Okay. Now
Am I
Mordecai.
able to take an action?
What's that?
Am I able to take an action?
What action would you like to take? Most likely, yes, but it's kind of a... We don't have hard and fast rules for this, so...
I was just gonna cast Cure Wounds again. I have 6 spell slots to use.
Yeah, go ahead and...
magically make blood reappear.
Well...
It's giving me away. That's what matters.
It's less magically making blood reappear and more using magic to like kick the body's own production of blood into overdrive.
It's
to make more.
I'm not saying this is a permanent solution, but you know it makes sense to Casimir, and maybe we'll find something out. Okay, so Casimir, you're in the strong grip of Mordecai. Your warm blood is flowing into him here, and you kind of give yourself a jolt, and similar to, well, not that Casimir would know, but similar to maybe any sort of pain reflex, like the curing magic washes over you as almost like a numbing, like because it's supposed to set your body more at ease. Again, in the broad sense of hit points is kind of like, it's mental and emotional fatigue. It can represent, cuts and bruises or maybe like some minor trauma. So it's probably not necessarily replacing blood, but it's preventing shock.
Keeping you from passing out.
Yeah.
Basically.
Now, I have no problem saying that, incorporating the Vampire the Masquerade, where this is not where this isn't a bad experience, Casimir, itself, as it is kind of an anesthetic bite from the vampire, much like how a mosquito, you don't necessarily always feel it, or they'll try and anesthetize it so they can keep feeding. But Casimir, you enrich yourself, and with your next pull, Mordecai, actually,
I only need 10 more hit points, to be fair.
Okay, make another straight up con, just a one roll con, as you are filling up, and
Nope, wrong. There we go.
Okay. Still really close. I was thinking of 15. At least it's not the 11 on that intelligence save. Although maybe Mordecai, you're just like yeah, your eyes are rolling back here. You got like an Igo face going on here, drinking out of Casimir. So you take another pull, and you're getting this with Casimir trying to keep things going here. Like you have this willing target full of this warm, just powerful blood, and now you're getting that spice of this curative magic that's kind of riding that's riding on it too, which is in this case more of a seasoning. The spell itself is, I mean, you can already cast it, so it's not like you're kind of temporarily getting one there. But maybe something else can sneak through. Let's go for one more pull, as you are nearly topped off. All right, Casimir, you're down another 19. So Mordecai, you topped off at 10.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we could find a use to put those extra 9 someplace. As your bot, like, you just engorge yourself, and you feel physically buffer. Like, your muscles are just like, you are shredded, my dude. And I mean, even your tail is just like a pearl and bicep kind of, like, it is just bulging with muscle. And Casimir, do you want to continue to replenish? Do you think he's had enough? Are you fine? Or
He's had the.
he's had enough? Okay. What I need you to do then, Mordecai, is you are topped off. You're even more than topped off, and Casimir is wiggling a little bit to, to signal. Okay, my dude, I think we're good. You can make your normal Constitution at advantage. Oh, for a second there. For a second, Mordecai is like, "No, you're done when I say you're done." However, you have this. I guess this, to use the vampire terminology, like the beast is now the kitten that got the cream, and is almost like purring in content that you're just so engorged on this rich, warm, this thick blood from the desert elf here, and you manage to disentangle your fangs from the wrist of Casimir, and I mean, Mordecai, you have like this. You're a blue Gaston with a tail. I mean, you are just like, you're there.
Okay.
I'm going to give myself just a tiny little after that.
Okay, yep. Well, that's probably good. You don't want to bleed through those holes in your wrist, so you kind of. Come on, there we go. All right, you stop bleeding.
Are you gonna be okay?
Maybe. We should get back soon.
Right. Right. Okay. And I go towards where I was headed.
Okay.
So long as Casimir doesn't look like he's gonna pass out from blood loss.
I'll be fine. Maybe. Let's try.
Just take it easy. You're gonna be dizzy for a minute, I'm pretty sure.
I have had blood loss before.
All right, so yeah, Mordecai, you're walking through. Maybe because Casimir is now kind of the woozy one. I'll let you develop this, but I think a good prompt would be not just the physical strength of Casimir, but you would have this kind of hunter's personality of either sort of like, I am the dominant one of the land, I'm the alpha of the pack, or just there's an emboldening. So kind of like that whole invoking the Disney Beauty and the Beast Gaston. Like, you definitely have this Casimir like, I got this. I am one with the world, and like you just have this kind of boldness, this macho-ness, this kind of imposing figure that would also go with your physical bulk that you now carry. So I guess what we'll do, as we've had this little side trip, so you'd been kind of at first stumbling through, we had our little cutaway, you're going to make your way back. So there has been some time then spent back at the Wild Cherry, and of course we can have a reintroduction of sorts, but I know Bright was gonna want to look at books. Professor, were you wanting to do anything in particular? Did you want to look through what was in this office, or are you just gonna sit down? Do you have notes that you want to write? What would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna sit down and write some notes on the things that have just happened. The things that I saw in the Shadowheart ship, the references to the old magic.
Okay.
The similarities that I've seen between the Wild Cherry and the ships, etc., etc., etc.
There is still, if we look at the bottom here too, this board is still up, by the way. The clue board, or if if there's anything that you wanted to, I don't know, try and string together, or there's this I don't know, I guess just calling it a clue board would be, unless there's another name for it, but yeah. So there's still like these investigator style, like it's a cork board or a message board. A writing desk. There's plenty of ink and paper if you just got to start getting notes out.
I'm also going to sketch down that non-standard symbol of Ouijas that I saw on emblazoned on Raphael's chest,
Okay.
as well as the symbol that I saw the lieutenant carrying around.
Okay.
Put those up on the board as well.
All right. I'll tell you what. Along with this, why don't you give me a religion check, in int religion.
I could do religion. I can
Okay.
do religion.
This is
Actually, it's
Oh.
right on the edge there, so I'm going to give this one of my +1s to make this a 20. Just
all
a
right.
flat 20.
Yes,
Because that's
actually,
a DC barrier.
You all, there are some things that are floating here. In fact,
I know. I gave myself one.
Yeah,
I gave myself
you
a
have one. Mordecai has one. The professor still has one. Bright has one, and Casimir has one. And Quingar, Quingar gave me one.
Yeah, so everyone has one.
Although I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my one back with Mordecai making the cons, because I was kind of in an uncertain, and I pushed a little bit for the drama, so I'm gonna consume my +1 from Quingar in that case. So each of you are now you're floating one. Okay, so what you're getting, Professor, is it's certainly, people have different symbols, perhaps even for the same faith. And I don't have a sketch of this handy, but what you're getting is how in Christianity that we have, there's a cross, but there's also a crucifix. And while they are symbols of the same religion, we're talking about representation of different meanings of the same symbol, or the representation of different sects of the same symbol. And in our culture and understanding, at least, because we all might have different experiences. If I need to come up with something else for you, let me know. What you're getting would be more like a Celtic cross. So yes, it's a cross. It doesn't, it's not a crucifix. That actually has, Jesus, nailed up on there. But you are getting this mix. You know how the Celtic cross has the circle that goes through the actual the intersection, because that carries Celtic traditions. These more older, and into Christianity would be considered like pagan or druidic. Circle about life and continuity and such. So in our culture, that is how I'm describing this old symbol to Ouijas that you're seeing. So it is, and now to paint this into our game, we're looking at the Shadahar representation as like old Catholicism, Orthodox, like crucifix. You're getting the full whammy with it. We're looking at the kind of the Protestant version of necromancy and magic through Ouijas from the Pilgrims, in so much that you are just getting the empty cross. What you are getting from this older but a different style of Ouija symbol is this kind of in between. This it is still a show of faith to Ouijas, but it is this different take. You're getting the Celtic style cross, which is this Ouija symbol off of Raphael. Now the lieutenants that you had gone against have the old school Orthodox Ouija symbol. Because they're still following their form of practice of necromancy, of the how it intersects with magic in their practice. So you were getting that full, it's the old ways. This is that kind of, it's still old, it's still ancient, but it is a different kind of representation. And now I would like you to make a history at disadvantage, please. Okay. You're not really placing anything yourself. Maybe with some research, some time, you might be able to go to an ossuary here that can help you with that. If not the ossuary, there's a monastery in Mesomasca that might be able to help. There could be other religious institutions in other cities, but nothing is coming to your mind as far as placing it if it has a native existence here locally. But it seems to not be
Well, the
Shadowheart,
ossuary
because Raphael was brought back apparently to hunt them.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I think I might have to go to the ossuary and have a little chat with them. But, before that, I'm gonna look to Bright, and after cleaning up and having put down some more notes, I'd look to her.
Mm.
Well, we need to be factual with her about what happened to the investigator. Build
Okay.
that rapport, if you will.
Yeah, I'm not saying we should be dishonest. I don't know how she'll take it. And I don't know if she'll believe us when we tell her.
I am a very believable person. I've got that covered.
Well,
And,
that's good.
I think what we'll do is we'll very quickly call for her.
Yeah, if you want to. It might be better if... I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Casimir and Mordecai, when they're going to come back. But it might be more believable if all of us were here.
Yes. So maybe we should wait for them. Actually, that might be an idea. Maybe we really should wait for them.
And just as you say that, although I actually want to take one step before the door opens, with Bright, because you were doing things while the professor was as well, you were looking for different books, or, just you're a curious creature. Go ahead and make an investigation, and for every 7 units of points that you've rolled, I will reveal some kind of a clue that you might be looking for in the office, or something that would interest you.
Okay.
So a 7 will be 1, a 14 will be 2, a 21 will be 3.
Investigation, you said.
Investigation, please.
Okay. There we go. It's a 23.
Oh, all right.
It's a good result.
So I will grant you 3 nuggets of knowledge, and what is 1 nugget that you are hoping to get information? Whether it confirms, denies, or something, or even the absence of something might confirm something else. What is one? A book on magic, you said, was one thing?
No, I wanted... The main thing I was looking for was a book on the Shadowheart history.
Oh, okay.
Because we still know very little about them.
Yeah. So what I will... There is a book of Shadowheart history. It is written in Elven, and it does seem to be a Mesotopian take on Shadowheart.
Okay. Well, fortunately, I speak Elvish, so...
So yeah, there is this book. In glancing through, it's this would be more like a... This isn't, grade school, like, oh, hey, we're all Mesotopians, and, this is our civics lesson. It does seem to be more of a collegiate level course. In fact, there's probably a college library stamp somewhere in it to show that it did come from
library
university.
books are overdue. It's so sad.
So this is something, presumably you can keep if you'd like. If you just want to sit down and start reading this, then that's fine as well. But otherwise, I will say that you have obtained a collegiate level history book.
Okay, that's good.
Being a calligrapher, you recognize the stamp. It's pretty good stuff. It's, should be believable.
Yeah, of course. Okay, is that all, or do I have more?
I'll give you 2 other nuggets. So, like,
Okay,
you haven't read a book in that time, but you found a book that you can, I don't know, stash away somewhere, or know where it is, or hide it, or, come back to it. Whatever you want to do, but there is going to be access to this knowledge.
Okay, good. Okay, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what other books she has, but I would certainly be interested in anything having to do with the hotel itself. Is there like a business plan or anything like that?
Sure. I'll say that you will also find a handbook that, again, with your calligraphy, seems to be written in Jaiden's hand, about emergency measures like safety protocols, what to do in case of, and then it just goes down: fire, robbery, robbery during a fire. I mean, like, it is a meticulous list of all the things that can go wrong, the security exits, things along these lines, that she seems to have been composing for review by Miss Crumb.
Okay.
So that seems to be the only thing in this office that is catching your attention that would relate there. And
Okay.
you know, so there might be, if you take the time to look through it, maybe there's like a secret passage that's somewhere in there. And then what would be your last little nugget that I can introduce you that this exists but can be researched
Yeah.
at some point.
Any information I could find about the nature or the use of the Towering Inferno? Any Shadowheart plans? Any tie-ins to the hotel? Any involvement that they might have? Anything like that?
Okay. All right. As you're going through some of Jaiden's drawers, you find that there is a series of papers that still have pins in them, and the strings that are connecting them that have all been like neatly taken down and put in a drawer, so that when Jaiden wanted to look at this other, investigation, she could neatly unpin that one, set it aside, and then load her pinned, save data up on the board and continue where she had left off, as everything is still connected by, twine and notes and everything. So you found her saved file, very literally a file of everything that, and there's even instructions about, okay, put the red paper up in the left corner, and that way you can unfold her, you can uncompact her file here and re-put her investigation back up on the corkboard.
Interesting. Well, that's interesting. Did Jaiden know anything that we don't, though? I don't really think I'm learning anything there.
There's nothing that appears obvious. So these are just little nuggets that can be researched with more time. But I'm just saying that they are available, to have, or to make a note of, or to take with you if you didn't want to stay here.
Okay.
But there's nothing red circles over. This is, several arrows like this is,
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, I don't want to... So I guess I don't understand... I don't want to, rob her library.
Okay.
So how will I... I don't know, what's appropriate here. Does that make sense? I don't want to rob the library, but I don't know that I'll be able to come back either, so...
I don't know if you have magics that might be able to mimic things, or if you consider it, it's a library book. I went to a college, so I can withdraw a college book. Or maybe you put an illusory copy on the shelf because it's there, but it's technically not. But it looks like it's there, so maybe it's not as bad.
Yeah, my illusory copies would not last that long,
okay.
Unfortunately. and my dog has ruined everything.
Oh no.
Boy, I don't understand this at all.
Yeah, just with Bright, because Bright does have some interesting mental gymnastics. I'm not sure how to fuse your dex and int in this regard in order to play limbo with any sort of internal morals or values that you carry. I'm open to ideas.
I don't know. So I guess I'll just. I mean, since the business plan is more of a, yeah, that was fun. That's the sort of thing Jaiden would do, and I miss her already. But it's not valuable to me. It doesn't tell us like their secret plans for world domination. I don't need to know where the fire escapes are.
Okay.
So, um, unless there's a secret passage on there that I might actually learn about. Other than that, I'll just put that back. Same with the investigation of the tower, because we pretty much already know the same things that Jaden knew. So I'll just go ahead and pilfer this book, and I'll
Okay.
be sure to not. I'll be sure to give it back when I'm done. That's
Okay. Hey, with your calligraphy site, you could write a very beautiful IOU and just kind of like fold it and put it on the shelf, and
all. I could.
you could. dot dot dot. And just then the door opens as it appears that you have guests. Mordecai and Casimir have been led up here by the clerk, not by Miss Crumb. Have been led here by the clerk that was at the front desk.
And
Also,
we got the thing that we were going for.
what's that?
We got the thing that we were going for.
Oh, well, I'm sorry if I.
We were going back to where we were going to meet
drop-off
that one
point.
person for the drop off of what we were picking
Oh
up. I don't
shoot!
remember
I'm sorry.
exactly
Yeah, I thought your plan was to
4
go
or
to
5
Wild
sessions
Cherry.
ago.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, I
That thing was
Yeah.
4 or 5 sessions ago. And
Yeah,
I
that-
don't remember what we were going for.
no, you're going for like some healing potions. So-
It was like potions, and it was some potions, and I believe there was one other thing in there.
Yeah, it was a couple common potions and some stuff. I mean, it was basic supplies, but all the stores were closed because of the celebration going on that night.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, Casimir and Mordecai. I mean, you know where the drop was going to be. Obviously, Mordecai, you're super emboldened. I mean, it doesn't matter what anyone is going to say or do. You go and there's a crate waiting for you, and it seems to have the stuff.
Does it cost me any money? Because I don't think I've spent the money for it yet.
I think I think there was the arrangement that they had to go and get things. You might have had to come like off like a half and half, like a partial for them to get it, and then the next they'll wait. So I can't imagine this being a terrible problem. That being said, those are famous last words. Go ahead and make a performance check. Because there would be someone there to try and identify that you're the one to do the pickup. And of course, you don't look exactly like you did before, but maybe you could still play it off. Oh yeah, 29.
29.
Yeah, you're well, this is performance. I clearly meant intimidation, and the person just backs off. And yeah, your coin's good, so it's paid for. Your coin's good, and yeah, if you need anything else,
Flattering the person with flowery words. That's what I do.
just don't crush me between your pecs, man. And so yeah, you get the drop. I mean, it's a big wooden crate, but you can just you can just heft it on your shoulder and walk back, no problem.
Mechanically, has my strength changed?
Yeah. Casimir, what is your strength?
16.
It is 16. Okay. I'm gonna give you a slight boosty, Mordecai, because Casimir at a 16. We're gonna say that you're at 18 for the time being. Just because you're like super engorged with Casimir blood, so you're extra swollen. Maybe the edge will start coming off a little bit. And
was an 8.
Well, yeah. Hey, wait. So you've doubled your strength.
Hey.
So yeah, you'll start deflating after a while.
Is you drink for me, someone else heals me up to full, and then we go into bath.
Oh, Casimir. By the way, I need you to make a Constitution save. You were drained pretty well, so I need you to make a con save at disadvantage, please.
I'm gonna use my +1.
Okay.
No, never mind.
Ooh,
Ooh, that's a natural one.
that's a red number. All right.
I cannot save for my life.
So Casimir, I mean, maybe it's just because you're, just something about almost like your blood itches a little bit. Like maybe it's just because you were drained and it's kind of late at night and you've been through hell and back, almost literally. But secretly we know that you're actually a carrier for vampirism. So Casimir, if you die...
Was he passing out?
No, just Casimir's a carrier now. Though Casimir doesn't know this, but...
Big oof. My bad.
It's right, Casimir. I hear if you
I'm
murder
going to
another
take a nap.
if you murder another vampire carrier, it cures yours. So if you take out Bright, then I'll finally
No.
have the vampiric gnome I've always been hoping for. I mean,
You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth.
a DM
I'm
can
going to
dream.
take a nap. Like I'm going to actually sleep.
But yes, Casimir, you probably are a sleepy boy. So yeah, Mordecai, you have your you have your supplies. You are not going to be contested or confronted on your way to the Wild Cherry. And so depending on what you want done with the supplies, you can bring it up yourself. You can have someone put it on a cart and bring it up. You can, I don't know, leave it there in the lobby and they'll deal with it until you tell them what to do.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Take it to our room, our I guess the office.
Okay.
Either whatever we're doing here.
Well, we still have a room.
Yes.
Yeah, and kind of come into the room with a big old crate in my hand, looking pretty satisfied with himself.
Yeah, Casimir's desert tan is a little paler now. But yeah, you got a big old blood-sucking grin on your face. And hail, the gang's all here. Well, not everyone, but the four of you are together. And what do you say or do?
You still haven't told me if that's that cost me any money. 'Cause I've got-
It will. I mean, I'll gen it up here. It's various potions. I'm not going
Okay.
to make you bankrupt with them because you were going for common stuff like little cure potions, or I think there was something about it was an antitoxin vial, or there's some minor status potions too, I believe.
yeah,
Something to give you a boosty.
But yeah. We're back.
Hi.
Got
Yeah,
it.
so I'm glad you're back. Where's Casimir?
It's right there.
I'm going to
Oh.
take a nap.
Okay, I didn't see you there. I must have been looking at a different part of the room. I was probably distracted by this book. I'm glad you're okay.
Me too. We're good. So, we're resting, right? Before we go do anything.
Well, I think we actually have to talk to Miss Crumb. She's waiting for us to.
Yes, we
She's
talk to
waiting
Miss
for us.
Crumb and then we rest.
Yeah, and I could use a good night's sleep.
I mean, I could, but I don't want to. I want to just go.
I want to go too, but I'm worn out, and I don't have any spells left, and we're all hurt. Actually, you look a little better.
Yeah, I
you-
had a snack.
That's- that worries me a little.
It's fine. And Casimir helped.
Helped. Oh,
If I didn't take care of it quickly, it was going to get out of hand. I would have killed someone.
but you didn't.
No.
Okay. That's good. Please don't. Don't eat.
I don't.
Don't
don't
eat
intend-
anyone.
I don't
Okay.
intend to.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's change the subject. That'll be nice. And also, we can go call Miss Crumb.
Right. And I kind of set this crate of stuff down.
Sure.
Do we call her up with that thing? And he points towards one of the kind of microphone pipes.
Don't worry, I've got it. And Cypher would walk over, open it up, and call for her in Shadowheart Common.
Ah.
I didn't know that you spoke Shadowheart.
My specialty is Shadowheart history. Would you be surprised if I didn't speak Shadowheart Common?
I mean, I'm not surprised,
Yeah.
but I didn't expect it. I guess you don't look Shadowheart, so.
Well, the thing is, when you find when you find stuff about Shadowheart history, it's normally in Shadowheart comments. So you gotta learn to read it. And considering you gotta talk to people about it, who only speak Shadowheart common, you kind of need to learn the language.
So nothing about the thing at the docks actually like concerns you.
It does, but for different reasons.
I mean, I that's still vague. That doesn't tell me anything.
I will put it to you like this, Mordecai. A meteor falls from the sky.
Hmm.
Some people will be screaming about the fact that a meteor just appeared from nowhere. Other people will know that the meteor is coming. Everyone's still concerned about the damage that it's going to do.
Right. Okay, just to understand what it is that you're saying here, you're concerned about Shadowheart actually invading in Mesotopia, right?
Yes. But
And
the writing was on the wall that they were coming.
yeah. I don't want them here.
Of course you don't.
So, that's so that we're clear, you know?
Yes. You're just waiting for this Crumb to show up because I've already called up cold fire.
Bright, for a second, your divination wizard eyes, it seems like there was some kind of a line that was just drawn and kind of disappeared in a second. Mordecai seemingly just drew a line or something, but
Yeah, I had a vision of sand.
yeah.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, he actually has given off kind of a desert vibe, very like bold and confident. And
How interesting.
Also, Mordecai.
yeah, Swoldekai. Oh gosh. All right, so
A little of the unga or the bunga.
I will have what I'll do is I will have Miss Crumb knock on the door. You all can be in the office. There's plenty of furniture to sit on or to stand around if you wish. But what I want to do is I want us to take a break. I at least personally have to use the restroom. So why don't we take about a 10-minute break or so? And then we'll come back. Miss Crumb will be here. You can have a Q&A, bring her up to speed on what's happened. Even if you go like, okay, we're going to tell her everything, we can do that. If you want to groom the information, you can do that too. I'm fine with that. But still, I need to get up and take a break if you all need to as well. And you all out there in the audience, if you got a break, get a snack, a drink, stretch, rest, and we'll be right back. Hydrate.
I have my hydration right here.